All right, we're diving deep today, folks. We're tackling personal discipline, and you guys have given us a ton to work with.
Yeah, a mountain of material.
Seriously. But we're focusing on this article, 10 Key Principles to Mastering Personal Discipline, to find the best strategies for you.
We're going beyond just do it.
Exactly. We want to explore how and why discipline actually works.
Absolutely.
So the article jumps right into SMART goals. Honestly, I'm a little skeptical of these goal-setting things. Are they really that helpful?
I can see why you might be, but SMART goals have some interesting psychology behind them.
Okay, how so?
It's not just about setting any old goal. It's about setting them in a way that makes your brain want to achieve them. Does that make sense?
I think so. Tell me more.
Think about it this way. If you just say, I want to be more productive, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and just give up.
Oh, for sure. Happens to me all the time.
Right. But a SMART goal breaks down that huge goal into tiny steps, and each step feels much easier to do.
I see. So it's less scary.
Yeah. And as you do those little things, you get this little hit of dopamine. It's the brain chemical that makes you feel good.
Ooh, I like dopamine.
Me too. And your brain starts to crave that feeling, so you're motivated to keep going.
So like a positive feedback loop. You get stuff done and you feel good and it makes you want to do more.
Exactly. The article talks about how that builds momentum, which takes us to routine.
Ugh, routine. Some days I love it and some days it feels like a trap.
I get that. But this article thinks routine is crucial for discipline. Like a good routine helps you just do things without even thinking.
Okay, I see what you mean.
It saves your energy for the stuff that really needs you to be disciplined. Like you don't need willpower to brush your teeth.
No, it's just automatic.
Right. So those automatic routines free up brain power for the harder stuff.
Routines, like a support system for discipline.
Love that analogy. And to help us make the best use of that routine, the article talks about the Eisenhower matrix.
Ooh, yeah, I've heard of that, but I'm not really sure what it is.
It's actually pretty simple. You look at all the stuff you need to do and put it into one of four categories.
So it's more than just getting things done. It's about getting the right things done, right?
Absolutely. You
Right.
want to focus on the things that will really make a difference. And the Eisenhower matrix helps you do that.
Smart. All this talk about productivity is making me want to check my email. No, just kidding. But seriously, I struggle with procrastination. What does the article say about that?
It brings up temptation elimination. You got to figure out what your weak points are and get them out of your way.
So, like, if social media is a problem, put the phone in another room.
Might sound extreme, but yeah, if it's not right there tempting you, you're more likely to stay focused.
Like setting yourself up to win instead of having to fight yourself all the time.
Exactly. Because willpower is limited. We only have so much each day.
So that's where routines and avoiding temptation come in, right?
Yes. You got to save your willpower for when you really need it, like budgeting it.
Budgeting willpower. I like that.
It's a good way to think about it. And that takes us to habit loops.
Habit loops. Huh? I think I've heard of that, but I'm not totally sure I get it.
Yeah, it's basically like a three-part cycle.
Mm.
Cue, routine, reward.
Okay.
So something happens that triggers you. That's the cue. Then you do something, the routine, and then you get something good out of it, the reward. Like say you're stressed after work.
Been there.
Right. So maybe feeling stressed is your cue, and your routine is you grab a bag of chips. And the reward is, well, chips taste good, right?
Yeah, comfort food for snacks.
Exactly. But the thing is, this whole cycle happens without you really thinking about it. It's a habit,
So it's like my brain is just on autopilot going through the motions.
pretty much. But the article says you can actually change these habit loops.
Really? How?
Well, instead of trying to stop the whole thing cold turkey, you try swapping out the bad part with something better.
So the stress after work part stays the same, but instead of the chips.
Maybe you go for a walk, or meditate, or call a friend, something that helps you de-stress.
So the reward is like feeling calmer and proud of yourself?
Exactly. Way better for you in the long run.
I can see that. But it sounds hard to actually do to break that old habit.
Well, it definitely takes time and effort, but it's totally possible. That's where consistency comes in.
Yeah,
The next principle the article talks about.
makes sense. You got to keep at it to make it stick. What about accountability? That seems like it would help too, right? Like having someone to keep you on track.
Absolutely. The article suggests finding a discipline buddy to support you and help you stay motivated.
Kind of like a workout buddy, but for like life goals.
Yep. Or you can try one of those habit tracking apps. It's amazing how motivating it can be to just see your progress.
True, it's like a visual reminder of how far you've come. But you know what really messes with my discipline? Stress. When I'm stressed out, all my good intentions just vanish.
That's totally normal.
Hmm.
The article says there's a big connection between stress and discipline. When you're stressed, your brain kind of goes into survival mode.
So it's more focused on getting through the moment than making good choices for the future.
Right. It wants quick fixes, not long-term rewards. That's why it's so hard to be disciplined when you're overwhelmed.
So taking care of stress isn't just about feeling better, it's actually essential for being disciplined.
Exactly. The article suggests things like deep breathing, spending time in nature, hobbies, all that good stuff. Anything that helps you relax and recharge.
Because when you're calmer, you can actually think straight and make those good choices.
Exactly. And then the article uses this case study, this guy named Joe, to show how all this works in real life.
Oh, I love a good case study. What happened with Joe?
Well, Joe was basically struggling with discipline in every area of his life. Work, health, relationships, everything.
Sounds rough. So how did he turn things around?
By using the principles in the article, of course. But he didn't try to change everything at once. He started small.
So like baby steps.
Yeah, like setting one smart goal, starting a morning routine, getting rid of one temptation, that kind of thing.
So building good habits slowly but surely.
Exactly. He focused on being consistent, not perfect. And he learned to be patient with himself, which is really important.
Yeah, it's so easy to get discouraged and just give up.
Right. But the article really emphasizes that personal discipline is a journey, not a destination.
I like that. It takes the pressure off, you know?
Exactly. There will be bumps in the road for sure, but it's about getting back on track and keeping going.
Yeah, it definitely makes it seem more doable. It's not about being perfect, it's about trying, right?
Exactly. It's about making those choices that line up with your goals, even when they're hard. And sometimes that means saying no to things you really want.
Like that extra cookie or sleeping in instead of working out.
It's about thinking long term, not just what feels good in the moment.
Playing the long game. I like that.
Me too. The article talks about how all those little choices we make every day really add up.
They shape who we become, basically.
Exactly. And speaking of shaping who we become, the article ends with this really thought-provoking question.
Oh, what is it?
What's one tiny change you can make today to get better at self-discipline? Just one thing.
I love that. It's like a challenge, but in a good way. Like anyone can do one small thing, right?
Absolutely. It could be setting a really small, smart goal for the week, or getting rid of one distraction, or even just taking a few minutes to breathe deeply and relax.
That's about taking action, not just talking about it.
Exactly.
Well, I feel like I learned a lot today. This deep dive has totally changed how I think about self-discipline.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's not about being some kind of superhero. It's about understanding how your mind works, having systems to help you reach your goals, and being nice to yourself along the way.
Perfectly said. It's a journey, not a race, remember.
So true. And it's okay to ask for help sometimes, too. We all need support.
Definitely.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive today. I hope this has given you some practical ways to boost your own discipline.
It was a pleasure being here.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive.